What's going on, people? What's going on? All right, this is Coach D coming at you for another Ask Coach D session. All right, and today, a topic that I wanted to bring up is about being a network marketing sponsor, and really look at the type of sponsor you want to be. And are you really being a sponsor, or are you being like a totalitarian ruler? And get some feedback from you guys on the type of sponsor that you like. All right. And so as you guys tune in, definitely put down in the comments. Let me know that you're with me. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm tuning in from the Carolinas. As always, every week we're here, other than like the other holiday week. All right, we're here to answer any type of marketing questions that you have during about this like 15-minute segment or so. Okay, so if you have comments or questions, put them down below, and as I see them, we will address them. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Okay. Now, this is one thing that I've noticed, with network marketing specifically. Okay. A lot of times you'll join something, right? You'll join something with someone, and so you have a sponsor, right? And it's different types of sponsors that I've seen out there, and but a lot of them kind of seem like totalitarian rulers, like this. Like, has this ever happened to you? You have a sponsor, right? And you're trying to figure out stuff, see which way to go and everything. And on one hand, okay, they're giving you suggestions and everything and directing you, but then excuse me, a lot of times it gets to the point where they're pretty much just telling you how to run your business, telling you how to build your business, telling versus suggesting. Now, some people may say, well, yeah, they don't want you to make the same mistakes as they made in the past, right? Okay, well, we're going to talk about that for a minute. What's going on, Adrian? Thanks for tuning in. We're going to talk about that because I get it, right? It's kind of like your mom, right? Or your parents. You're going through life, right? And you're a young teenager. Your parents are like, you can't stay out past 10 o'clock because that's only going to get you in trouble. You might get pregnant early, or you might get some girl pregnant early, or whatever, right? Okay, because maybe they went through that in their life, right? So they're trying to protect us, right? Now, here's the difference. A sponsor ain't your mama. Right? So when you have a sponsor that is pretty much dictating to you on the way that you need to run your business, the way you need to build your business, like, no, don't do that. Do this. No, don't do that. Do this. Right? And a lot of times we get beside ourselves, like, for real. Like, I have to, because, I have a lot of people on my team on different teams, I have to rationalize things in my head, what I'm saying, before I'm, giving direction or giving, suggestions, right? Why? Because I personally don't agree with the totalitarian way of being a sponsor. I totally don't, right? And I totally reject it and buck against it when others, try to dictate to me how I'm going to run my business or how I'm going to build. Let me give you an example. All right. Now, there's companies out there that the way that they build their business, well, not necessarily companies, but other network marketers, the way they build their business, they'll say, hey, if you have a question, just go to your sponsor, right? They'll tell you to go to your sponsor for pretty much everything, right? That's not the way that I build, okay? So if that's not the way that I build, then a person telling me that if I have a question, I need to go to my sponsor for everything, I ain't trying to hear that, right? And not only more so, I should be allowed to build the way that I want to build, as long as I'm not breaking any company rules. Y'all understand, right? I should be allowed to build the way that I want to build and fail if I'm going to fail and win if I'm going to win. People be so worried about, trying to tell people what to do because, oh, well, this is the best way that I found because, I struggled when I did it. So this is the best way. So this is the way that you guys have to do it. No, nobody have to do nothing, right? And see, if you don't check yourself, right, as you're out there building your teams, right, if you don't check yourself, you're going to wind up being this totalitarian sponsor that tells people what they need to do or what they have to do versus giving suggestions. Now, there's a difference between giving a suggestion based upon your experiences versus telling someone what they have to do based upon your experiences. You're not me and I'm not you, right? You are not them, okay? And so one thing I've learned, in network marketing is that, yes, we're going to give advice based on our experiences, okay? But it is about how we word that advice, okay? It is about how we try to, quote unquote, enforce that. Like, there are literally some sponsors out here who they just try to make everything so difficult if you go outside of their box, if you will, or their way of thinking. It's not that you're breaking any rules, right? But if you try and go outside of their way of thought, they'll try and make it so freaking difficult. Like, that don't even make sense. Like, we're up here telling people that we are here to help them become free, right? Financially free, time freedom and all this stuff, right? Well, the operative word is freedom. So if you're being the type of sponsor that you're not allowing people to have any type of freedom, then aren't you really being contradictory? I mean, let's think about that. I mean, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Put down in the comments. Victoria said, you are so totally right up. I mean, seriously, Victoria, like, real talk, man. I'm a part of different companies, right? And, I was at a meeting here recently, and it was a meeting for everyone. It wasn't like a meeting for our team or anything. It was a meeting for everyone. And I was asking questions on that in the chat. I was asking questions on that meeting, okay, about specific things or whatever. And someone else who was in the chat was like, who's your sponsor? I'm like, what does that matter who's my sponsor? Unless I'm asking a question about my sponsor, what does it matter? You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, just because you want to build your business to where you're going to be chained to it, to where that you're going to have, let's say you have 20 teammates, or let's say you have 100 teammates, and they're all going to be coming to you because everybody thinks they want to be the plug, right? Yo, like, real talk, I did not join, any type of, business or start a business because I wanted to be chained to something, right? No, I don't want to build my business to where the people who join me can't have success unless they run to me and I have to literally check my phone, every 3 minutes. That's my choice. That's my choice. Yep. That's what that is, right? So when you are out there trying to push your values on other people in such a way that it does not allow them to, kind of maneuver the way they're going to maneuver, make mistakes if they're going to make them. Because heck, we all made mistakes and we're all going to make more mistakes. That even that sponsor who you think they're killing it, or maybe they are killing it, maybe they're making X amount of money, this, that, and the third, I guarantee you they're still making mistakes. Why? Because we human. We're still going to make them. So then why try to be this totalitarian ruler, right? Trying to dictate to everyone of what you have to do. Okay, versus here's a better way, guys. Here's a thought process. Okay, here's a thought process here. Just listen to it. Why not suggest things versus tell people and make it difficult for them? Why not suggest things and then share your story, right? Say, hey, I see what you're trying to do. This is what happened to me when I did that route. So that way that person can see some of the trials that you went through, and then they still can decide which way they want to go with their business, whether they want to try it, going through those trials and tribulations. Because here's another thing. Not everything that is a trial and tribulation for you is a trial and tribulation for them. Does anybody ever stop to think for a minute? Like, sometimes, I ain't even gonna lie, y'all, I'm seriously wondering how many times do we stop to think sometimes. I think we don't think sometimes, like, for real. Like, some of this stuff to me just seems like that simple. Right? If we just stop for a minute and thought, not everybody's the same. Just because, let's say for you, right? Just because for you, it was hard to, build a team without having, a Facebook group, a ManyChat, a Telegram, whatever, like 1,200 different things, right? Just because for you it was difficult that way, it doesn't mean it's going to be difficult for me. Just because it was for you. So allow people to maneuver, allow people to feel, right? Instead of you being this, people have like a God complex, right? Like, I'm dead serious, especially, it seems anyway, especially for network marketers. It's like, as soon as people make a little bit of bread, and I do mean a little bit of bread, okay, a little bit of bread. They ain't at retirement. If they were, they wouldn't still be hustling every day on day. Don't believe that lie, okay? But it's like people have this God complex. Like, everybody want to rule the world. Everybody want to rule the world. You know that song, like, everybody wants to rule the world. It's kind of like, that's how it is. You know what I mean? And here's the deal. It doesn't have to be. Chill out. Allow people to maneuver. I mean, what do you guys think? Victoria, what's your thought process? Victoria, let me know down in the comments, guys. I want to know, what is your take on it? Are you that totalitarian sponsor because you're so worried about somebody failing that you're not allowing them to breathe? You're not allowing them to color outside the lines, right? Or have you been treated that way? Have you been smothered, if you will? Have you been ridiculed for trying to get help elsewhere outside of from your sponsor because people are like, no, you just need to go to your sponsor. Just go to your sponsor. Has that been you? Right? Let me know down in the comments. I want to know, right? Because the way that I react to things may not be the way that you react to things, right? But sometimes we don't react because we don't even think about it. And we actually do react because sometimes people really do get frustrated, like seriously, but they don't say anything. And if you guys, haven't followed me long enough to know, I will just straight out tell you, I am not a get along girl. Okay? Means, I am not I'm going to go along with it, even if I don't, agree with it. I'm just going to, go along with it and shut up about it and not, resolve this and keep it all inside and let it fester. I ain't that. That ain't me, right? Yeah, that ain't me, right? I am like legit, really passionate about above marketing. One of the things I'm really most passionate about is freedom, right? And when I see that as network marketers, we fall into these, these little, I'm not going to call it a slump, but we fall into these little areas where we're up here trying to dictate to people and not allowing them to be a person, not allowing them to fail on their own, right? Not allowing people to do things like that. What that looks like to me is bondage. That's what it looks like to me, right? It looks like the opposite of freedom, right? So if I'm all about freedom, financial freedom, time freedom, right? If I'm all about these things, right, then I got to make sure that I'm checking myself, right? So that I'm not, infringing on other people's freedom. That's literally the way that I look at it, What's going on, Yolanda? Thanks for tuning in. What's going on, Carol? Guys, give me some feedback at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really want to know what's your take on this. Because, like I said, I've had different trainers, different coaches, and some of them, are totalitarian type situations where now this is just the right way, and that's what that is because I know better because I made 6 figures in 2 days type situation, right? Type BS really is what I call it. Right. And then I've had some coaches where they've done just like what I said. They gave suggestions based on their experience, but they allow you to maneuver the way that you need to maneuver as long as you're not breaking any company rules. And I'm going to show you guys an example. All right. Let me see. Let me pull up. I'm going to share my screen. I want to pull up one of my chats that I had, and I want to show you exactly what I'm talking about as far as how I operate, because I want people to be able to experience what they need to experience. Okay, let me see. Let me share my screen real quick. Let me share my screen. That one, share screen, boop, boop, boop. Okay, all right. So this is one of our chats, right? And one of the young ladies said, okay, she said that she really was liking, her main thing was she was trying to get over to be on YouTube, right? This is what she said. She was trying to get over to be on YouTube. That's what she wanted to focus over on YouTube. All right. And I said, okay. I said, would you be willing to go on YouTube, even if it meant you not making money for a little while because it takes time to build up? I asked her a question. All right. She says, well, I have a vision, but I'm always open to hear pros and cons. She said she loves video streaming and everything, right? She loves that. And she wants to grow a YouTube channel. All right. So I was telling her, I like YouTube, and I gave her my feedback. I said, the con that I can speak of is the time that it takes to build, right? And that you got to know, a lot more stuff than what you need to know with Facebook to at least get it going. All right. And I said, are you at this stage where you'd like to focus like 90% of your, of your efforts on YouTube and just like 10% on Facebook or whatever? She said, I'm not ready to make that switch. I think the first thing, and she was telling me what she's ready for. So my point is the conversation her and I were having was not about the fact that my experience with YouTube would say, oh, well, now you don't need to go over there. You need to rock out on Facebook and start making 10 grand a month first. No, that is totalitarian. That is you trying to tell a person what they need to do in order for them to have success, in the sense of that as if them going on YouTube is meaning they're not going to have success. So what I did for her is I gave her feedback based on my own experience and let her know this is what it was like for me. It was very time intensive for me, right? And, and with that time intensity, that meant that Facebook slacked, meaning my marketing on Facebook slacked, so just think of these things. And when you feel that you're ready and prepared, then do your thing, right? That's the type of conversation it was. It wasn't talking at a person, right? Trying to tell them, stop here, trying to tell them this is what they have to do, right? Just because it took me a while to get going on YouTube, because I had to learn to edit the videos, right? I had to learn all this stuff that I didn't know about, right? People love to try and deter you from something instead of just sharing their experience and then allowing you to still make your decision versus no, y'all don't need to worry about YouTube until y'all start making $10,000 a month on Facebook. This is what people will say all the time in network marketing, all the time. Like, what? Shut up. Like, that don't even make sense. And then we'll be over here listening to them. And then we'll see people, having success on YouTube that ain't never touched Facebook type situation. So you want me to believe that your way is the only way when I see other people doing it another way. Let me choose which way that I want to do it. Give me, your feedback on what your experiences were, right? Give me tips or whatever, advice, but do not try and tell me what to do. You can suggest, right, or advise, but when you're trying to dictate and be a totalitarian in this network marketing game, you wind up doing the opposite of what you said you wanted to do anyway. At least what we say out loud, what people say, the thing they want to do, the reason why they started their business. Oh, I want to make some money and I want to help other people make money. We always talking about how we want to help other people. But then behind closed doors, what we up there doing is really what we're showing is that we want to make money and we want to chain you to do it our way and only our way. Let's be real with it. Like, a lot of times people need to stop the bull crap, let down the facade, right? You know what I mean? And just be real with what your intentions are. Be straight up with it, right? If your intentions are you're gonna try and force me to only build your way, say that so I can get up off your team. Right? Pill, you ain't the only one, right? But we got to be real with that, and we also have to understand it when it's done to us that they're not the only show. They're not the only one in the rodeo, right? You know what I mean? So because a lot of people harbor this stuff in, and they'll be frustrated and they'll quit. Man, I've heard stories of people. I mean, they'll come to me after the fact and say what happened with their other sponsor. They'll come frustrated and be like, D, I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. I'm doing what the trainer says. I'm doing that and everything, but my sponsor keep telling me everything I do is wrong. And they be mad frustrated, mad frustrated when they come to me, right? But my thing is, okay, instead of having people out here like super frustrated unnecessarily, this shit is unnecessary, man. Like, for real. It's unnecessary for people to have to be frustrated over stuff like this, over sponsors trying to smother their way out or smother their creativity out. Like, that don't even make sense, right? You know what I mean? So when I approach things, okay, and I'm just, once again, I give you guys a suggestion, okay? You still choose, I'll give you a suggestion. When I approach things, it's more on okay, well, what do you want to achieve, bro or sis, whoever's talking to me, right? Okay, all right, because anything is possible. All right, anything is possible to be achieved, right? Some things may take longer than others. It is what it is, right? But just because something takes longer, other people may not care about how long it takes. Just because you care about that it took you 2 years to make $100, maybe they don't care about that. Maybe they're cool with that experience. So why not instead say, okay, well, this was my experience with going that route. These are the mistakes that I made. If I had to go that route again, there were some changes I would do. This, and that, and third, and then let that person decide. If they have more questions, give them questions. But the moment you try and start dictating to people, making like they can't, color outside the lines and everything, are you really being a network marketing sponsor, or are you really being a totalitarian? What you really doing? Be real with it. Like, don't hide behind it. Be real with it. Let's see. Yolanda says, I agree with you. I want to get paid to be me. Exactly. That's all I'm saying. Allow people to be themselves, man. Everybody is not going to be like you. And that is okay. That is literally what makes people so wonderful. The fact that we're not all alike. You know what I'm saying? There is not no one way to do something, right? And so when you do start getting a few signups and stuff, you might want to think about that. You might want to, I'm just saying, you might want to think about how you felt when someone was trying to put the shackles on you and telling you what you got to do or what you have to do to, put it in proper English, right? Say YouTube is long game, but investment in time is a great business plan. I agree with you, London. It is definitely the long game because it takes commitment. But yes, it is worth it. So instead of trying to tell a person what they can't do, like, nah, I'm going on YouTube, and give them your feedback. Like, you're trying to give feedback. Like, yo, it's it's a long-term game. You know what I'm saying? So, you may not get fast results as far as money-wise, I'm saying. You may not get fast sales, but, if you're cool with that and you're invested into, that process of YouTube, then, hey, however I can help, let me know. I could point you into, the direction of some resources and everything. If I don't have resources myself, I can point you to people who have them instead of trying to stop a person from doing something because you did it and it didn't work out the way that you wanted it to work for you. So we try to hide behind this. Well, I'm just trying to save them a bunch of heartache and pain. You ain't trying to save them nothing. You trying to keep them all eyes on you, like you got the plug, like you the only plug, so they'll keep buying from you. Man, call a spade, man. Call a spade. Stop that damn lying, man. Y'all know what y'all do. Y'all know what time it is, right? And see, I can say this because I've been there. I've been on the receiving end and the giving end. Okay, see, some people haven't been on the giving end, meaning that they haven't been a sponsor yet because maybe they haven't started making sales yet. Right? So yeah, I can spill all that tea all up in here. I can spill that. On both ends, I can spill that. Right? So it's on you guys to observe it, right? Observe when you start feeling that you're being smothered in a sense of that your creativity is not excuse me, not being nurtured. I literally have a teammate, and we're we've both been doing this about the same amount of time and everything, and success is relative. Right? Success is relative, but the way she's doing things is way different than me, so it's like, okay, all right, you say you want this, but you're going about this, and everybody's telling her, at one point, everybody's telling her, well, you need to do more Facebook, you need to do more Facebook Lives, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, well, D, I just want to do a lot more in Messenger. I'm having more fun with that, having conversations, you know what I'm saying? At one point, she wanted to do the thing she wanted to focus on was mindset. Helping people with their mindset. But some other people she talked to was like, there's no money in that. This is what she told me anyway. Like, oh, there's no money in that. There's no money in helping people with their mindset. You need to go with the money yet. But her heart was in helping people with their mindset. So what did I do? I literally went and found Facebook groups of people, right, successful people who were monetizing mindset. And I said, hey, sis, here's a group that I found. I joined it to kind of see if they was giving out some value or if it was just a hype group. I said, and the dude over there is giving out some value. So here's a resource if you still do want to pursue, right, going the route of helping people with their mindset, even though other people told you don't go that route because there's no money in it. And I also reminded her, I said, Bob Proctor does a lot with mindset, and I said, he makes money. I said, so those are two resources that I know of that can help you, sis. I didn't say, well, yes, sis. They right, man. It's hard to monetize mindset, so you don't need to do that. No, come on, that don't even make sense, y'all. That don't even make sense. Like, yo, it don't matter who told her that, because I didn't ask her. She didn't say it doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, if we don't start waking up and understanding that either, we allow people to smother us or we're smothering other people, right, then we're not really being good sponsors when we do that. Right? When we try to be totalitarian and telling people what they can't do, what isn't going to work for them just because it didn't work for you. Just because maybe you thought about doing mindset and it didn't work out for you because you didn't make sales as fast as you wanted or whatever, was the situation. Does that mean crap on someone else's dreams of what they feel that is in their heart to do? No. If you have suggestions to help them, offer the suggestion. If you don't have any suggestions, say, I feel you. I have no suggestions. But if I come up with some, then boom, because that's literally what I did. The only one at the time I knew was Bob Proctor, but I literally, because she's also a good friend, right? So I literally just, I just took like maybe 5 minutes, you know what I'm saying? And I searched on Facebook, right? Found some, this dude or whatever has a mindset group, joined the group or whatever, and just saw a few of the posts he was putting. I was like, oh, he's putting a value and it's based around mindset. I said, boom, let me go ahead and give her the link. So that way, if she, decides to listen to herself, of what she wants to do that's going to make her feel good, then she can get in that group and that at least be a resource. That, and I'm not even her sponsor, but my point is, if I was her sponsor, that's also still what I would have done. That is a helpful sponsor. That's helpful, man. Instead of increasing anxiety on people because you want to have this totalitarian rule and try and make people do it your way all the time. Do you know in my marketing group, right? In my marketing group, the main things that we focus on is Facebook and YouTube, right? Facebook primarily and YouTube on the back end. Coming in 2021, we're going to be rolling out some Craigslist as well, because there's some other things that I think people can benefit from that I'm also actually going to benefit from. But, I actually had to do exactly what I'm telling you, that about what I'm talking about. I literally had to do this. At the beginning of the group, I had told one of the people who had joined me, he was like, that he didn't really want to learn Facebook, right? And I'm dead serious. This is what I told him. I was like, well, if you don't want to learn Facebook, man, you don't even need to come in the group, and he was like, wow, now I don't know, now obviously we wasn't talking, so I don't know, what tone it was, and he doesn't know what tone mine was, right? I came back about like maybe 3 weeks after that. I came back and I said, hey, bro, I said, what's up? What you got going on, man? I said, look, you really should get in the group. I said, even if you don't want to do Facebook, it'll still help you pick up some tips, you know what I'm saying, along the way, and you'll still be connected to ask questions about any avenues you're doing. What did I do? I grew the fuck up. That's what I did in 3 weeks. Because it's like, yo, D, if you don't like people to shackle you and tell you what you can't do, then this dude joined you in something. Allow him to come in there. He may get an idea of what would better suit him, right? And he'll still feel included about the situation, right? Yeah, but a lot of people don't have that come to realization moment. A lot of people won't admit what I'm telling you guys. They won't admit that they're trying to shackle you. They won't admit that they only want you to do it their way because they want all eyes on them. They won't admit this. They won't admit it, right? And so what happens is you have people on the outside frustrated. The people who've joined you, they're on the outside frustrated, or you are the one who's frustrated at all these people telling you that you can't monetize mindset when that's what you have your heart set on. So no. I don't do that anymore, right? It's like, nah. Somebody said they wanted to have a thing where they want to teach people to, teach people to trade. Right now, I know that person is still learning themselves and everything. I'm like, all right, cool. That's a worthwhile idea. What else is there to say? No, I'm not going to say, well, sis, before you can teach people to trade, man, you need to go ahead and get some results yourself. Come on, man. She already know that. All that's going to sound like is I'm crapping on her dreams is all that's going to sound. She already know that. Who don't know that they need to learn something before they can teach? Who don't know that, right? But she said this is what her goal was. I said, yo, that's a worthwhile goal. Hell, I see other people doing it and monetizing it. Worthwhile goal. You do the work to get there. Awesome. Right? Just because I'm not trying to go in the route of, teaching people to trade, just because I'm not looking to go in that route. Why try and shackle somebody else, to not go in that route if that's, where they want to go? They're not breaking any rules. So what's the big deal? Does that make sense? Let me see. What's going on? 10K overnight. Nah, exactly. They ain't made no 10K overnight. What's going on, Victoria? Thanks for tuning in, girl. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, you said playing the game show, no bueno. Yes, it is no bueno, girl. All right, let's see. Brian, my sponsor is chasing media platforms and then spamming the heck out of them, then telling us we need to do the same thing. If we don't, we are not serious. See, that's what I'm talking about, man. See, okay, it's one thing that the sponsor wants to be on multiple platforms and everything, and they want to spam and stuff, right? That's cool. That's their prerogative, right? But when you get to telling your team that if y'all don't be on multiple platforms and if y'all don't spam people like I'm doing, then y'all not serious. Like, how that mean I'm not serious just because I'm not, being on multiple platforms? Maybe I only want to be on one platform right now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what I want to just focus on. Maybe that's what I want to do. Does that mean I'm not serious because I only want to focus on one platform? In what world is that? In what world does that mean you're not serious if you don't want to focus on more than one platform? Like, what? It don't even make sense. And see, that's what I'm saying. That part right there, they could have left that out. They didn't have to say, well, y'all not serious if y'all not on multiple platforms and spamming the hell out of people. That part they could have left out. They could have said, look, this is what I'm doing. I'm on multiple platforms. I'm spamming the hell out of people. This is how I'm doing it. These are all the spam messages I'm sending. Here's some templates or whatever. Here's some resources. If you guys want to do it this way, okay, cool. There you go. If you have any questions or need suggestions, bring it up at the weekly team meeting. Cool. There it is. There it is. Now you don't have a team that's frustrated about feeling like you're really talking down to them by saying they're not serious. You kind of talk down to them, right? So now you don't have a team feeling frustrated about the way that you brought it, and now they feel like, okay, well, I know I don't want to be a multiple platform. They're teaching about multiple, but shit, I'll just listen to one. Like they talking about Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram. Like I really don't know all of them, right? But what if you like, well, I just want to be on YouTube. Let's just say, right? I just want to be on YouTube. So maybe I'll listen to their YouTube training and I'll ask questions about that. Boom. That is way more inclusive and inviting and non-totalitarianism, right? And having people feel a little bit better about their lives, right? As they take this journey with you, right? As they take this journey with you, allow them to take the journey, right? Instead of you trying to snuff it out. What's going on, Didi? What's going on, sis? Yeah, allow them to learn. Yeah, allow them to learn from you regardless and make that decision. It's cool. Let them make the decision. I started doing that a long time ago. I say, do your thing. Exactly. Didi, see, we learned. See, it didn't take us no 10 years, Didi, to learn that we have to let go, that we have to support people, even if they're not building in the way that we are building. We still need to be supportive people. If they're not breaking rules, and I haven't seen anyone personally, I haven't come across anyone that wanted to do something different from what I'm doing that was breaking the rules. They wanted to do something different because it better fit their situation. And I let them know resources that I had available and what I didn't have available. If they say, hey, I want to learn Instagram. I don't know how to do Instagram. However, I do have a resource that has training on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Or they say, I want to do Pinterest. I get it. I don't know how to do Pinterest. However, I do have a resource that does have training on doing Pinterest if that's what you want to do. All right? Yep, just offer assistance to keep it moving. Exactly. Offer assistance to keep it moving. So I'm hoping that this is resonating, with whomever, however many people it is resonating. Share this out, guys. Share this out. Show me some love. Share this out. If you're on Facebook, share it out. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. All right. So that people can hear this. And if they're on the receiving end, even if they have to have a talk with their sponsor, that's, one-on-one, you know what I'm saying? So it's not confrontational. No need for that. You know what I mean? And let them know how you feel, right? If you're on that end, or if you're on the giving end, where you are the sponsor and you have been snuffing out people, trying to force them to build your way because you feel like that is a better way. Notice I said you feel like that is a better way. You feel that is a better way. Okay, feel. Everybody got feelings. Okay, but hopefully you guys, hear this message. Okay, so that you will kind of check yourself to see what's what. Do I need to change the way that I'm operating with my team a little bit, so that they feel more included, right? Or on the receiving end, do I need to say something so I can relieve this pressure so that going into 2022, 2021, damn, I said 2022, girl, I'm already preparing. Like, I ain't even playing, yo. Like, the plan I put together is a plan of where I'm going to be in 2022. Like, for real. It's like a whole year situation type deal. But, but thinking about, what you want to go into the next year with. The mindset that you want to go into the next year with, the way that you do want to build your network marketing business the next year, the way that you do want to be a sponsor, if that's what you aspire to do, moving into the next year, right? Hopefully this, really resonates with you guys. And as always, if you do want to at least, start getting some Facebook marketing training, all right, I got some free training for you. Just text the word coach over to 90407 and you'll grab some absolutely free training to at least get you on the right, get you on a path of Facebook marketing. All right, a path that I've used that has helped me, and hopefully it can help you as well. Other than that, I thank you guys for tuning in. Y'all already know every single week we here, all right, with the Ask Coach D session. Bring all your questions, and we got answers, baby. If we don't, we got directions we can point. Other than that, you already know this Coach D. At the end of the day, what we're going to do, we're going to take this ride. Where we're going to take it, y'all, all the way to the top. All right, and we